$2,000 to it. We paid for it. You own it. Enforce it.
The CDC, the Justice Department, HIV activist, one of the biggest pharma companies in the industry, and a whole lot of drama all over PrEP. I'm Josh Robbins, and this is WAXoh News presented by DatingPositives. The Department of Justice has launched a review of a government patent for use of Truvada for PrEP, according to a report just out from the Washington Post. Even with the Justice Department reportedly sending an investigator to talk to current and former employees and researchers at the CDC, Gilead, makers of Truvada for PrEP, the daily pill that helps someone HIV negative prevent HIV infection, is marketing the drug. Activists from PrEP for All, who first discovered that the patent for Truvada for PrEP, the drug, is actually owned by the CDC, alleging Gilead is refusing to pay royalties and they believe the drug is just way too expensive, thus being a roadblock for people that need it most. Currently, PrEP for Truvada costs $1,600 and $2,100 a month, but it costs $6 to make, according to the activist. In an emailed statement to the Post, Gilead said recently that there are no ongoing discussions about the patent or royalty payments, but instead ongoing discussions about increasing access for vulnerable populations. That isn't cutting it for the activists who are holding the feds accountable on protecting rights. Well, Gilead isn't signaling any plans to render payment to the government for the patent or royalties because Gilead claims the patent was acquired by the government improperly. But through a 9-year process, the CDC actually gained the patent and even won a defense of that patent in Europe, showcasing their ability to put up a defense here in the US. But this all presents a big challenge for HHS, which includes the CDC and NIH. Because the pharma companies are seen as collaborators, and an action like litigating a patent to acquire royalty payments might stifle the relationships needed to bring new drugs to market, including other FDA-approved drugs for other health conditions. And federal officials are signaling anything but a lawsuit. And that angers activists who are mounting big pressure on the CDC with the help of politicians, 7 in fact, that recently sent a letter demanding answers by the officials at the CDC. Are you following all this? Whew. Okay, according to the body, PrEP for All co-founders Jane Krellenstein and Nick Faust shouted at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention Director, Dr. Robert Redfield, at AIDS Watch in Washington, D.C. on April the 1st. Their demand for action was on full display, a demonstration that reminds many of the passions and vocal berating seen previously only during the early days of ACT UP. So now we have the CDC, the Justice Department, Gilead, PrEP for All collaboration, the community that needs it, all fighting over PrEP. Ironically, if you remember, the CDC was one of the first major advocates for the use of PrEP in 2012, when many national HIV nonprofits were either silent or slowly moving implementing the HIV prevention technique. Now, many of the people who were recently also vocal against Michael Weinstein of AIDS Healthcare Foundation for his attacks on PrEP and Gilead strangely find themselves on the same side with him and going up against the pharmaceutical company, which is a bit of a strange twist and something I would have never guessed would happen, although the fights are about something very different. We'll keep you updated of all of this at WAXoh.com, presented by DatingPositives. I'm Josh Robbins. This was a lot. Thanks for watching. Ciao.